What if I told you that two cousins turned a late night cookie craving into a billion-dollar empire in just 7 years, and that they did it without spending a fortune on traditional advertising? Today we're going to be breaking down the branding genius behind Crumble cookies and the 5 lessons that can transform your business too. Hey everyone, if you're here to learn about how to build a brand that people obsess over, you're in the right place. I'm Tyler, and today I'm going to be diving deep into one of the most successful brand stories of the last decade. So grab a cookie or don't, because after this video you might be too inspired to eat, and let's get started. Picture this: in 2017, Logan, Utah, two cousins, Jason McGowan and Sawyer Hemsley, are on a mission to create the perfect chocolate chip cookie. They're spending thousands of dollars on ingredients, testing recipe after recipe, probably eating way too much cookie dough. But here's where most people would have just opened a regular bakery. Not these guys, because from day one they understood something crucial about branding. It's not about the product, it's about the experience. Their very first store had an open concept kitchen where customers could watch every single cookie being mixed, baked, and decorated. Think about that for a second. They turned cookie making into entertainment. Then they made buying a cookie feel like an event. And it worked. Opening day, line out the door, word spread like wildfire because they didn't just sell cookies, they sold a story, an experience, and a feeling. But that was just the beginning. Let's talk about what happened next. In just 7 years, Crumble went from one store to over 1,000 locations across the United States and Canada. That's about 100 new stores opening every single year. But it gets crazier. Now they sell approximately 1 million cookies per day. Let me repeat that, 1 million cookies daily. Their system-wide sales hit over $1 billion in 2024. So how does a company grow like this? Most food brands take decades to reach this level, and their secret isn't in the flour or the sugar, it's their branding strategy. But even branding superstars make mistakes, and Crumble's biggest mistake taught them and us a valuable lesson. Let me tell you about the time Crumble almost broke the internet, and not in a good way. In 2022, Crumble decided to remove their iconic pink sugar cookie from the menu. This wasn't just any cookie, it had a vanilla sugar cookie with a signature pink almond frosting that had developed a cult following. The founders thought, hey, we have a newer, more popular flavor, let's make room for innovation. And this was a mistake. Social media exploded, customers were devastated, and people were genuinely mourning their loss of their beloved pink sugar cookie. The backlash was so intense that Crumble had to do something they rarely do: admit that they were wrong and reverse course. The lesson here is huge. Don't mess with what makes your brand special. Your customers will tell you that what they value most, so you should listen to them. Crumble learned that innovation is great, but you can't abandon the core elements that built your brand loyalty in the first place. They're basically the Apple Store of cookies, and I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. If you walk into an Apple store, you see clean, minimalist design, products on display, transparent processes where you can see the magic happening, iconic, instantly recognizable packaging that people carry around like a status symbol. Now, when you walk into a Crumble store, open a kitchen where you watch the magic happen, sleek modern design, and those iconic pink boxes that customers carry around proudly, free advertising walking down the street. But here's the genius part, and this is where you can apply this to your business. Crumble turned their product releases into events. Every week they drop new flavors, like Apple drops new products or Supreme drops new collections. If you think about it, customers are literally waiting for Crumble Monday when the new weekly flavors are announced. One influencer said it's getting a new Crumble cookie each week is like when your favorite TV episode drops on TV. They created anticipation, they created scarcity, and they made buying cookies feel like part of something exclusive. But does all this branding actually work? Well, let's look at the numbers. The proof is in the pudding, or should I say cookies. Crumble absolutely dominates social media. They have over 17 million followers combined across all platforms. On TikTok alone, they had 5 million followers by 2022, outpacing food brands that have been around for decades. And the kicker is that Sawyer, one of the founders, said that their sales skyrocketed once they captured that younger demographic through social media. But it's not just about followers. These followers actually show up to buy cookies. Their average franchise locations are doing 1.3 to 1.4 million in annual sales, way above the industry average. And they never had to advertise to find franchises. People were literally knocking at their door waiting to become a part of the Crumble empire. So what can you take away from this? Let's break down some lessons. First, you sell the experience, not the product. From day one, Crumble understood that they weren't selling cookies, they were selling togetherness, nostalgia, and an experience. What experience is your brand selling? Second, make your process part of your brand. That open kitchen wasn't just about transparency, it was about making the creation process part of the entertainment. How can you make your behind the scenes part of your brand story? Third, you should create anticipation through scarcity. Weekly flavor drops, limited time offerings. They borrowed from hype brands like Supreme and applied it to cookies. How can you create anticipation for your products or services? Fourth, this visual consistency is everything. From pink boxes to the clean store design to social media aesthetic, every touchpoint reinforces their brand identity. Is your brand visually consistent across all platforms? 5 is listen to your customers, especially when you mess up. The pink sugar cookie crisis taught them that customers will tell you what they value most. When they spoke up, Crumble listened and course corrected. Are you listening to your customers' feedback? Before we wrap up, let me leave you with this thought. Here's what I want you to remember. Crumble didn't just get lucky. Their system built a brand that people don't just buy from. They evangelize for it. They turn cookies into content. They turn customers into fans. They turned a local bakery into a billion-dollar empire. So the question is what is your pink sugar cookie? What is the one thing your customers absolutely love about your brand that should never, ever change? And what is your drop strategy? How are you creating anticipation and making customers excited for what's coming next? I hope this breakdown helped you see branding in a new light. Smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into successful brand strategies. And in the comments, tell me what is one branding lesson from Crumble that you're going to apply to your business. Thanks for watching, and remember, great brands aren't built overnight. They're built one strategic decision at a time.